Not yet. Yes, we are live, but we are in the background.
Is it also live on?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is Jibril from the African Fighters. This is a very quick interview. Our guest. I'm sorry, guys. I'm rambling right now. Our guest right now is the answer, and I'm hoping we're gonna get a lot of answers. That's none other than Themba Gorimbo. Themba, my brother, welcome to the show.
And it's a pleasure to be here on your show one more time.
Yes. Themba I would say the second African fighter to be on the African Fighters twice. The first person is Demate Pena, your boy Demate Pena. So shout out to RS Bantamweight champion Demate Pena. All right. And before we start, I'm just gonna introduce my co-host real quick. It's none other than the yin to my yang, Toby Aderemi from Lagos, Nigeria. Toby, what's up?
I'm great, man. Nice to be here once again.
All right, guys, we are live. We are live on YouTube, and if you are watching wherever you're watching from, please you can drop a comment, ask questions, because Themba has put a disclaimer out there. He says this is going to be one of the last times that he's going to speak before he dip again. So, Themba, first of all,
my last one is probably next week with the UFC guy. Then I'm done. Then I have to go deep within, and focus on the next one.
I'm gonna say this would have been like the most busiest your social media has been ever, because after that fight, everything that came afterwards was different clickbaits, different people talking about different things that you said. Has it been overwhelming for you, or have you been ready all the time?
Yeah. My social media has been very busy, bro. Like, honestly, yeah, this is the busiest it has ever been in my entire life, maybe. Because actually, I have not even replied to all the people that have been messaging me, man. Because, like, there's like hundreds and hundreds of messages, and I try to reply to each and every person that messaged me, because sometimes you get to a point, like when you lose, you don't get those people messaging you and stuff like that, right? And when you win, sometimes you feel like, okay, cool, I must not reply them because they didn't message me when I lost. But at the end of the day, if someone wishes you well and messages you something, I try to show the gratitude and say thank you or something, even if I have to just put a thank you. It's just something that I try to do. And sometimes in those messages, there's some people that are coming out and wanting to help my village, where I come from. They are trying to donate money, so I have to go through all the messages, because you never know which message you might miss. Some of them are trying to sponsor me, like it's a good one, to be honest, and I'm very happy with everything that has been happening, because you know what, a week ago today I was not in this position. A week ago today I was an unknown guy trying to get a victory in the UFC, nearly to $0 in my bank account. So it is a testimony that with God and hard work you can go as far as eyes can see. Eyes are even like something that we can't even describe, man. Like, you can go very far. You can go very far, and I believe I will go very far in this sport. And 2024 I'll become a champion, I believe.
Well, you know why I believe you, Themba? Because you were, before you left South Africa, when you were still champion in EFC, we had our first interview, and you literally drew your roadmap to where you are at today. And that time, I believed you, and everything came out exactly how you visioned it, how you planned it. So yes, again, my brother, again, I really, really respect you whenever you say things like this, and whenever you predict what the future is going to be. And I actually do believe you, and I'm pretty sure that UFC Africa has your name written all over it. So I'm just going to pass.
For me, man, I've got my market, and I've made it clear from the get-go. My market is the United States. I want to fight in America all the time. And yeah, USA Africa is great. I fought here in Africa. I've paid my dues here, but I've made it clear that my market is the United States because I'm loved in America, man. I will be honest with you. I'm loved in America, and where you feel love, you must go. Uh, Not to say I'm not loved in Africa. Of course, there is people that look up to me. There is people that love me, but it's different. It is different when you're outside there. When strangers are reaching out to you, when strangers are helping you, when strangers are throwing thousands of dollars at you to just say, okay, cool, go to your village and do something. That's real. Like for me, I don't say real love because then it's like I chase the money. But at the end of the day, that's something big for me. And besides that, like in America, people, I don't know, people just get drawn to me when I'm there. Not even just when I'm fighting, even when I'm not fighting, walking on the streets, whatever, in the gym. Like I just like everybody like gets drawn to me. Everybody just looks at me. Maybe it's because I look like, I don't know, under the bed. I'm too dark. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's a good one. I'm just gonna give a shout here. Someone in the comment section, he mentioned love from SA. We love you, Themba. There's still love for you here. Thanks for inspiring us. I'm just going to put it out there. So again, the love in South Africa is still live. It's
Yeah,
still
yeah,
going
yeah.
strong. Yeah.
There is love in South Africa, and I'm not writing that off. Honestly, I have my people too that love me, that are close to me, that love me, that are here in South Africa, and I don't write them off. Um, but man, it's just like different when you are on that American market. When you are there, it's like just different, man.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. I was actually going to touch on that, but before I do, Toby, do you want to jump in here and ask a question, please? Okay. I think we lost Toby there. I'm sorry about that. So speaking
Let
about
him let
SA and the market, I understand that you are based in Miami right now. You called Miami your home. You posted a couch. I believe that's in your gym. Uh,
that's my
yeah. So
that's
yeah,
my that's my bed. Yeah.
yeah. So the thing is, I think because of how real you are, that's what makes the US fans or the US people get drawn to you. You have an incredible story, but I would want to. You touched on how you got to MMA Masters with the fact that you couldn't get a German visa. You sent a message to one of the coaches down there. So, how would you explain what it felt like being in Miami and being accepted in MMA Masters?
So look, it is like destiny, honestly, to be at MMA Masters. Now knowing what I know now, I feel like I was already destined to be there already, because back in 2010, to, yeah, 2010 when I was starting MMA, one of my good friends back then, Mawande Vapi, he went to MMA Masters and trained there, and when he came back, we stayed together in Parklands in Cape Town. Then he said to me, Temba, I want to see you one day training in Miami at this gym called MMA Masters. That's back then, and I didn't even know. I just kind of like, whatever this guy is talking about is talking dribble, because I don't even have a passport. And it was just like, he showed me his pictures when he was in Miami. Then he said to me, it's so nice, we were at the beach. And like, honestly, he was talking to me, but I was just like, whatever this guy is saying, I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. Then in 2015, when I lost to Leon Maynard, when I had my first loss, I'm actually like, I was also like in the same position that I was like in the last one. I had to like try to reinvent myself and stuff. That's when I ended up, messaging them again, wanting to go there, and I didn't even know how to get the American visa, and they kind of brush it off, James, you're so cold. He says, he said, where are you gonna stay in Miami? I'm like, I don't mind staying in the gym. And he says you need a visa or whatever. Then I told him whatever my goal was, that I want to become a UFC champion, and I was coming off a loss in EFC. I was not even a champion in EFC, and I said to him, I want to become a UFC lightweight champion, because I was fighting lightweight then. And fast forward, I got rejected my visa to go to Germany. I saw a picture of Colby with the MMA Masters. I thought to myself, maybe that's a sign for me to go there. Then I did go there, because I had an American visa. So I was like, "Ugh, why must I bother myself trying to find a visa where it's gonna be a headache? I wanna go and train now because I feel like my next fight is near." So I literally packed my bags the following day, and on Monday I had to leave. I went to MMA Masters, stayed in the gym. It was great. Honestly, Miami is a place for the focused. If I have to tell you, if you are not focused and you're in Miami, trust me, man, you're gonna kind of like get to whatever,
You
But if
forget
you're
yourself,
focused,
wouldn't you?
yeah, like you have to be focused in Miami, especially as an athlete. You have to be super. That fight in the UFC, you have to be focused, bro. Like honestly, like there's so many things that can be coming from different directions and angles that can distract you, and if you are not smart enough, if you are not clever enough, you get caught up in these moments. And as an African kid coming from Africa to be in Miami, and you start getting drawn from all these different angles, you might get caught up in the hype and lose yourself in the thing. So I'm glad I found home, and I'm glad I kind of know how to focus, and I'm glad that I will continue to do the same thing that I did on my last fight. Stay in the gym 24/7. There were days that I would not go out of the gym, like to even see the sun. There were days I would stay in the gym, and I would say to myself, especially on Mondays, I'll say, Monday I don't go out, even if it's to just run. When the conditioning coach say run outside, I'll tell him, coach, today it's Monday. I won't be running outside. So yeah, there were days I fasted from the sun. I just stayed in the gym, wanting to
Mm.
embrace that darkness, that gym environment, and everything. So I'm uh, I'm I'm going to continue doing the same thing because I know it pays off. Despite what happened in the last fight, because I was sick the day of the
Mm-hmm.
fight, those results I won, and I'm grateful. Like my coach said, enjoy the moments when you win because you never know when it's gonna be taken away from you. I'm enjoying it and I'm loving it that I won, but I could have done better. But must I
Yeah.
replace it? No, I won the way I won. I was tired,
Mm.
yes, because I was so sick, but I enjoyed that moment and I won that fight. And I know what I can do if I am healthy, because you know
All
what?
right.
I know within what I'm capable of doing if I'm healthy with the training that I had. Imagine what I did to Takashi with being sick. That's like probably me fighting at 20%,
Mm-hmm.
and I still won against a dangerous opponent. People can write it
Mm-hmm.
off Takashi whatsoever. He has lost to Balao Muhammad. He has lost to like top guys, and then Brian Beto, and in the UFC. And he's a tough guy, and people don't know this. Maybe people are writing him off because he fought Themba, but he's a tough guy,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. When the fight was presented to me, I was even like, if I have to be honest, I was nervous. The whole camp,
I
the
was.
whole fight camp, I was so nervous because this guy puts people to sleep. Not that I've been put to
Yes.
sleep, but he puts people to sleep. So I was like, you know what? I want to put him to sleep. So in my brain, I had already had this in my head that this guy is too confident standing. And, I always assess myself and I assess my opponent. So I looked at my video from my last fight and I looked at my all videos from my fights that he can have access to. Then I realized, okay, cool. If I'm Takashi, how will I beat Themba? Then I realized, okay, cool. I have to put pressure on him. I have to use my hands more, and I have to box him and feints and stuff. So I was prepared for him, and I was prepared for myself too. So I was like, you know what, this guy, he feels very confident. He's gonna come in confident with his stand up, and I have to be very careful and clever, and I can actually knock
Mm-hmm.
him out because one, his chin is a suspect. Two, he just got knocked out 6 months ago, 7 months ago. That can do something to your brain.
Yeah.
And honestly, I even felt sorry for him when I dropped him in that moment. There were moments that I like second hesitated to go in and kill him, like finish the whole thing because I was like, okay, it's done. Then the referee didn't stop. Then I was like, oh, okay, I need to go and hit this guy, because I knew from what
Yeah.
happened before. I think the referee should have just done his due diligence and did and do his research and see what happened in the previous fight.
Okay. I would like to talk about something you mentioned. You mentioned your coach saying enjoy the moment, and I would wanna appreciate you here from the African fighters that you are sharing that moment with us. So I understand that you've got a lot of people lined up trying to get some publication with you, but we really really appreciate you putting some time in
Yeah,
for us.
man, I got like another interview in 10 minutes. Until
Oh
12
yeah.
o'clock. Until 12
Okay.
o'clock,
So
I'm like back to back.
all right,
If there's games,
I'm I'm going to ask you the hot question before you go, and I'll give Toby a chance to ask questions as well. So everybody wants to understand something. Everybody is saying Colby Covington is a nice guy. You've talked about this a bit. Can you please tell us the first encounter you had with Colby and how training with him went and the things that can you peel the curtain a bit back for us, please?
Like this?
You understand what I mean? Pull the curtain back a bit for us, so let's understand how your relationship with Kobe started and all that.
So my first interaction with Kobe, I go to the gym and I saw Kobe, and then he's like, "Oh, hey, my brother, I heard about you. I heard your story. You've got a massive story. This is what was the first conversation I had." He's like, "Oh," then I'm like, "Oh, thank you." Then he's like, "So we must get in some work together." Then I say, "Oh, yes, yes, definitely. I'm here for as long as whatever." Then he says to me, then I said to him, "No, I already trained today." Then he's like, "You already trained and you just landed today from Africa?" Then I'm like, "Yes, I already trained today." Then the coach is like, "Yeah, he trained already." Then it's like, "Oh shit, I respect you, bro," because a lot of people will come in here and will say, "Oh, there is jet lag and whatsoever," and you just coming in here and train, that shows hunger, bro. And yeah, man, that's what he said to me. The first interaction that Kobe did with me, that was it. And like I was actually surprised. I was like, "Oh my god, this guy's like he was very nice, generous, and like welcoming." You would think like when you see a superstar like him, you would think that no, they don't wanna be bothered by like people like me or whatsoever. But he's very friendly to everybody in the gym, and you can only learn from that guy, man. And
Oh,
honestly, he even said that I play character on TV because you know what, I have to play that character because now I have enough money in my bank account because I've been playing the character and I can fight. But people sometimes just don't want you to be a fighter. You need to tell a story. You need to be something. And I can only respect that because at the end of the
okay.
day, when it's all
All
said
right.
and done, it's what's in your bank account, right?
Yeah, that matters. Yeah, yeah. Temba, I know we don't have you for too long. I'm just gonna. There's a comment question in the comment section that I find very interesting. Sheon Adisa said, I'm just gonna put in the screen so you can see it as well. It says, "Hi, what was it like getting the message of congratulations from Kamaru Usman, despite the negative things you've said about him?"
I never said anything negative about Kamaru. Firstly, I said what
Mm-hmm.
I said about Kamaru. That was when I was in EFC. Then me and Kamaru talked. Actually, after that, he understand the business. I never said anything negative about him. Um, or maybe you guys are okay. It's not negative when I'm saying something factual. I think
Mm-hmm.
maybe when he lost to Leonez was the head kick knockout. When I say something about him, yeah, of course, I met Kamaru when Usman was defending his title against Jared Cannonier, and I was very nice to Kamaru, man. I was so excited to meet him. I'm like, "Hey, Kamaru, how are you doing, my brother, bro?" Kamaru, despite the message he sent me, which is great, cool, I love it. But that doesn't take away what he did to me when we met in Vegas. He's like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "I'm so excited to meet you," but he's like, "What's up?" Like kind of size me up and telling me I'm the man here. Then I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit." I kind of like ignored it. Then I was with friends and some people. Then they say, "Hey man, that's Kamaru for you. That's Kamaru for you. That's how he is." So I kind of like know who he is, and for me, he's not my type of person. And also at the end of the day, he also had to try and show me that he's the lion there because we're in the same division. And maybe
Yeah.
sometimes you kind of feel who you're gonna fight in the future, who is a threat in the future, and maybe he was feeling the same way, and he'd be like, "This is my territory." So it is what it is, and it's great that he messaged me. And at the end of the day, it's business when it comes to fighting. If I one day have to fight him, it'll be great.
All right. Toby, you can jump in here before we go because you've been having network issues. Please ask your question. Thank you. Oh gosh, Toby, your connection is still bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This interview is not with you today. So yeah. So we are going to quickly talk about. Are you currently in South Africa or have you have
I'm
you
currently
have you
I'm
left the
currently in
US?
South Africa right now. I'm going to Miami in few days again.
Okay. Let's talk about the $7 that was in your account. That post
Yeah.
you made, I was like, oh, controversial. Themba is at it again. So,
It's not
uh,
controversial. It's the facts. I had $7 in my bank account, and it is real and it's facts. And I didn't have money, and people don't want to say these things. And oh, you feel like I see some comments. People are dissing you, the UFC, and saying no, the UFC should pay people. But no, the UFC looked after me because you know what? If the UFC didn't look after me, I would never made it to the fight. Do you understand? So people must stop saying UFC. UFC looks after the athletes. To be honest with you,
mm,
the money part, it's my fault and not my fault at the end of the day too, because you know what, after I lost my last fight I was on a 10-10. You know, when you lose you get 10 30% takes, that's 3,000 gone, so you're left with 7,000. Then on 7,000, then you have to pay your manager 10% for me. Then that's 40% gone. Then straight away you have to. Then I had $2,000 deducted from my pay because of the flights that my coaches. I added two coaches that were supposed not to be there, but I added them on my thing. Then that's what, 2,000 gone. 4,000 plus
mm.
2,000. That's how much? 6,000 gone, right?
6,000. Oh wow,
Six
yeah.
thousand gone. That's flat already gone. 6,000 with all that, and then I'm left now with what, 4,000 that I need to dribble and work around. And in my camp, I spend more than that, right? And now I have to pay
Mm-hmm,
gym rentals at the gym that I own, and then straight after that, I have to, I have to pay some of these coaches that I was training with. So you'll be left with nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? I was left with
yeah.
nothing. So people can say whatever they want to say, but at the end of the day, it's my struggle, it's my difficulty,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad I'm in this position now where I got my money now, and now I
Right.
don't get taxed 30%
All
anymore. I
right.
get
All right.
taxed
We've got a few minutes,
70%.
Temba. We've got a few minutes before you go. I don't want to take too much of your time, but we have to ask this nail-biting question. It's about Dricos Duplessis and Israel Adesanya, the whole political drama that you hinted at the end of your press conference. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah. So,
It is not cool. It is not cool, you know. And you know, like this whole thing. Let's say for me, what I said at the press conference, I can feel the tension. Like I feel like people are getting like about it. At the end of the day, we all entitled to our own opinions, right? He was
mhm,
entitled to his own opinion when he said what he said, and everybody supported him, and everybody knew I was also in the UFC. And I don't have anything against Dricus. I wish him nothing but the best. But I was also in the UFC, fighting in the UFC, living and breathing the African air here in Africa a week before he fought. So for him to kind of like be like that and understand it was his platform, and he didn't have to mention me, but it also rubs me. I'm African, I live here, bro. Like if someone says that about you and you know that you're African, you're in the UFC, and people are trying to change this whole narrative. Go read what he said. Myself and Cameroon are the only Africans, as far as I know, myself and Cameroon are the only Africans who live and train, breathe the African air in Africa. So it is what it is. I said what I say. It's affected me definitely, and I feel like some people are getting rubbed the wrong way here about it. Um, when another person says something, it's fine. When then me, I come and say what I say. Yes,
mhm,
of course, Adesanya is my hero. He's the African hero. Many African kids. How many African kids do you see when they go into the cage? They do the Adesanya, the dog thing. How many in the EFC? Everywhere, so many. You know, that just tells you already the impact Adesanya has in Africa. For myself too. So he's my hero. This guy, if he's inspiring other people, great for him. I don't have anything against him, but what he said was wrong and it's not cool. And it's not something I actually hold to my heart. But
mhm,
with the demographic that we have here, man, it's so
yeah.
it eats you. It comes back to eat you, you know. If especially
Mm.
if you know you're in that position. But at the end of the day, everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
All
It's
right.
his opinion, and may God bless him, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yes.
look, it sells tickets. Look, we're talking about it now, wasting our
Yeah.
time. It
Exactly.
sells
Exactly.
tickets, right?
We want to see the fight. Easy wants to see the fight as well. So before we go, some questions from the YouTube audience. But before I ask that, I'm just gonna ask: has Easy contacted you after the fight? Has he congratulated you? What was the interaction like, or is that something you would
No,
want to
no,
keep
no, no,
aside?
no, 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 no. Easy, 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 easy. Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. But a lot of fighters have. Easy, not yet.
Okay.
He's a busy man. He's a superstar,
Okay.
bro. And also,
Uh,
I don't need him to contact me. He already
mhm.
inspired me to fortify my mind, to go for something, take a risk, roll the dice. I did that, so I don't need him to do that for me. He's already done he's already made an impact in my life, so I'm grateful.
All right, I'm just gonna give two shout outs. There's Yankang Ekorongo in the comment section. He says, "Brother, I am in Atlanta. You need a place to stay when you are around. Feel free to come over."
Bless you, sir.
Yankang, please send a DM. Send a DM. Tell him you're from African Fighters interview, and
My next
yeah,
interview is almost in.
yeah. Yankang also say congratulations to your first fight. Sharon, congrats to your victory. Themba, but respect ones. Blah blah blah. Wish you all the best in your UFC career. All right, guys. Themba is a very busy man, as you can see now. He has another
I have
interview lined
another
up.
interview now with James.
And
Bless you,
again,
man. I
you
love African fighters, man. That's my shout out to you guys. Um, I hope you guys make it all the way to the top, become one of the best African journalists in MMA. Bless you.
thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. I'm Jabril. Themba is out, and that's it from the African Fighters.